Hello and how are you everyone? My name is Mark Guillermo. This presentation is about a training program in compliance with the subject MBA-126, Human Resource Development, under the mentorship of Dr. Moneda de la Cruz. This training program entitled Operational Excellence is really a necessity and mandatory to be implemented in all companies. My name is Mark Guillermo, and I'm going to present as a refresher for all the new employees the needs to obtain and attain operational excellence. So, is to further give details, let me read my introduction. Striving to achieve operational excellence is one of the most important contributors to an organization's sustainable performance and growth. Companies that reach for a higher level of operational excellence reap numerous benefits. A systemic, evolving, and effective approach to business operations, a continually productive and innovative workforce, and an organization that consistently realizes sustainable growth and increasing valuation. In this training program, we would like to announce the necessity in promoting operational excellence. We will be discussing operational excellence or OE in details, the goals, objectives, targets, and techniques in order for us to be aligned with company processes and strategic goals. It is important for everyone to know the company policy statement for operational excellence, and the management must understand the strict implementation and compliance of everyone. Our training objective is to have a basic understanding of the company's operational excellence system. Also, we will gain the concepts, skills, and tools to support the implementation of operational excellence. Operational excellence overview will give all OE representatives champions the foundation of the OE model and the OE implementation guide. Before explaining more, I would like to emphasize that this operational excellence training is likely mirrored the company that I am now working with. So because the OE model might be different with the other companies, but the sample that I will be presenting in this training will be modeled in my current company. So before we also proceed for the proper presentation program, I had prepared at least 6 questionnaires as an initial assessment. At the later stage also of this presentation, we will be more determined and we will be aware about the definitions of some of the terminologies, which is really maybe for the new employees might be new to their ears. So let me start the first question. Who is the responsible for executing OE process as they have been designed? Department OE team, process owner, all department heads, or all department employees, or subject matter experts. At the later stage of the training program, we will be asking us again the same question, but at this time, we will know the answer because we already discussed, we will be discussing it along as we go through the process of this training program. So number two, which of the following is an example of a KPI or key performance index you could use to measure the performance of project management OE process in preliminary engineering? Project quality index, preliminary engineering man hours, completeness, quality of the approved project proposal, or all of the above. So as I am saying, OE model differs from different companies because we have, as the training will go through the term processes. So this is the good term for whatever company that we are employed in, it has a different processes. For number three, which of the following is not a benefit of OE? Increased standardization of processes, improve performance in each of the focus areas, increase cost of operations, enhance knowledge sharing for best practices. Question 4, what are the 4 OE focus area? So leadership, HSE or health, safety and environment, efficiency, cost and profitability. So the other choices are root cause analysis, HSE, reliability, planning and effectiveness, and leadership, cost and profitability, efficiency and energy intensity. And the last one is HSE, cost and profitability, reliability and efficiency. So at the later stage of the presentation, we will be knowing what are the OE focus area of our company. Who is ultimately accountable for the correct implementation and performance of an OE process? Subject matter experts, all department employees, the department OE team, or process owner? True or false? OE is a continuous process. So all of these 6 questionnaires we will be answering at the later stage of this training. So we have a company documents that old and new employees must be aware with. This is to begin with our proper training program. So what is that? That is the company policy. Company policy, as I took this policy for this presentation, in order for us to know that this is a mandatory for everyone to understand, comprehend, and to do it in our daily lives as long as we are attached with the company that we are serving. So a company has a statement, a policy statement with the goal in achieving operational excellence. So for this instance, the policy statement is, we are committed to deliver an agile, flexible, and efficient organization capable of addressing new challenges and focusing on what matters most for business. We will conduct our business in a secure, defect-free, safe, and environmentally friendly manner. We will safeguard the integrity of corporate assets to improve productivity and profitability. We are committed to optimize company processes and the use of our resources. We will practice operational excellence through day-to-day activities in every department within the company in line with best practices. We will continue to be transparent and seek feedback from our customers and stakeholders. So operational excellence, as stated in this company policy statement, is really an important that should be practiced through a day-to-day activities. And this policy statement has to be implemented with a requirements in order to achieve the implementation. So for this instance, our company has 4 policy requirements. And number 1 is OE is an overarching umbrella for all systems aimed to inspire best practices and adherence to operations, expectations, setting excellence targets, and enables to encourage living up to our values so as to achieve company objectives. Mainly to achieve company objectives by setting excellence for every employees. All organizations shall customize the OE model to their business environment. Practice the OE system during day-to-day activities. All organizations will periodically assess their performance against OE objectives and compliance requirements. And later, at the later stage, we will be discussing that because there are criteria and barometer and equivalent marking for the grades on what level that the company is within. So are they in the poor level or are they in the excellence level? All company organizations are required to build appropriate and effective capabilities for OE success. So it is really very important for the management to make sure that the implementing rules and regulation in achieving operational excellence to comply with policy statement is a must and mandatory. Before we further proceed, let us do some defining words which is really maybe new to the new employees, new to the ear of the new employees. So assessor, there are personnels that will evaluate how closely the process execution matches the process plan. They are like an auditors that will check how far we are doing with our responsibility as an employee. Excellence is a talent or quality which is unusually good and so surpasses ordinary standards. Key Performance Index is a measurable value that demonstrates how effectively a company is achieving key business objectives. Organizations use KPIs to evaluate their success at reaching targets. Operational process is an organized set of activities or tasks that produces a specific service or product. Process owner is responsible for managing and overseeing the objectives and performance of a process through key performance indicators. A process owner has the authority to make required changes related to achieving processes objectives. Process excellence is about process effectiveness and efficiency. It requires processes to be designed and improved for consistent delivery with minimum variation and minimum waste. Subject matter experts, they are purely consultants that will help the organization in giving opinions to achieve success. So let us further define what is operational excellence. Operational excellence is the execution of the business strategy more consistently and reliably than the competition. Operational excellence is evidenced by results. Given two companies with the same strategy, the operationally excellent company will have lower operational risk, lower operating costs, and increased revenues relative to its competitors, creating value for customers and shareholders. It may more simply be interpreted as execution of excellence. By the way, this definition I took from Wikipedia, Google, Wikipedia. Another definition is from Kevin J. Dogan. Each and every employee can see the lean flow of value to the customer and fix the flow before it breaks down. Because operational excellence, we know as an employee how to rectify the faults because we know the process, operational process of our company. So before it breaks down, we fix it. So in this particular definition, it's defining that it is a process that not doing any mistake at the end. So we always serve our clients and customers at the end with the quality that they deserve to be. They deserve to receive. Some interpretations of this management philosophy are based on earlier continuous improvement methodologies. So we have a process, but as the time goes by, technological advancement and competition, so we further improve the method that we are using in order to utilize the resources or in order to be with the trending. So to meet the trending or the current trending in order to make the company more productive and competitive with others. Operational excellence is also defined a culture of continuous improvement where everyone is engaged in actively moving the organization towards its goal. What are the OE benefits? It is important for us to understand because the management of a company will ensure that all employees must know participating in a day-to-day activities in order to achieve operational excellence. So what are the benefits? It captures, standardizes, documents, and enhances all major work processes to be used in a day-to-day activities. It helps clarify accountabilities and responsibilities by assigning process owners to all major processes. It provides a comprehensive program covering all aspects of excellence. The goal of OE is to optimize corporate processes to deliver a more agile, flexible, and efficient company. So that is the main objective. Therefore, OE touches the day-to-day activities of each employee in order to achieve the goal. Now, every company has strategic initiatives. For instance, for our company, operational excellence is being deployed for the whole organization as a critical factor for achieving target goals and company's projected growth. In achieving the company's objectives, all employees must be aligned with the vision and mission, policies and guidelines that the company is implementing to reach adapt external and internal culture. And the targets for the OE targets, operational excellence targets, have been set at the corporate level to ensure that OE program remains on track. So for every aspect of our operation, there is always a target, and this is set in years. And before that year will come, we must ensure that we are almost there to reach our goal. An example is by setting a plan date, the company should expect to reach at least 90% or more of its organizations to reach top OE level of excellence. So this is the sample. By 2023, the target year, so by reaching this year, 100% of the company's employees must complete the OE assessment. So it means that we already reach, might be at this level of excellence, maybe between 3 or 4. But if we are, let's say, by year 2020, at least we are already at 90% or more of the company's employees achieve excellence ratings on OE self-assessment. OE self-assessment, this will be headed by the assessors. So you will see also here that the maximum of level of excellence is at 4.0 and the lowest is 0. So by setting the target, at least we know that by 2020, we must reach at least 3 in achieving the level of excellence. So between 1 and 2, that is committed to excellence. And we all know, all companies is committed for them to achieve their goals, to do improvements for them to be successful in their business. So for sure, they will improve their services and train their employees to be aware of the processes that the company is implementing and to achieve the operational excellence for their company. So where we will start in achieving operational excellence? A reputable and unorganized company like ours always have its corporate laws and other documents pertains to the operational process. From simplex to complex company, a guide for work, operation, and execution is a must. Example is a company policy, memo, manuals, and many more to execute responsibilities. Please note, a good management see to it that all guidelines within the company exist. If not, draft and let the board of directors approve it. So, all company must have policies. And one of them is the policy for operational excellence. And by the way, not only for operational excellence, specifically for the company, to be memorized by the employees, all of the policies, all of the rules and regulations is part of operational excellence. It is part of the key performance index that the assessors will check. HR, employees, or whatever department, it has its own rules and regulations and policies. All of them will be checked. So all of the employees are obliged to know the company policies, specifically the one which is applicable to the employee. Now, for our company, we have a model, and this model has 2 key parts. The 4 focus area, which is the integrated processes, the health and safety and environment, reliability, cost and profitability, and efficiency, wherein these 4 focus areas are the major operational processes that the company is in need to be at the level of excellence. Now, it has an enabling elements, 13 enabling elements, and we will be discussing it on the next slides. So for the four focus area, as discussed, it is integrated areas of companies' processes. These are the health, safety, and environment, reliability, cost and profitability, and efficiency. So these are the four processes that the company must be all employees at the level of excellence. So in order for the company to achieve its goals and objective. So for the elements, leadership and accountability, mostly it deals with the vision and mission, resources, commitment to operational excellence, and OE culture. So under this leadership and accountability, these are the criteria and the elements that needs to be enhanced, meet, and of course, uh, among all of the employees must be memorized or must achieve. So uh, in order to reach the level of excellence for the customer focus, we need to clearly identify the customers, customer requirements, and we must monitor and improve the level of satisfaction, the way we treat them, and the way we serve our customers. So the asset management, identification and assessment of performance critical assets. So it should be always monitored, critical assets. Designed procurement and construction. So in order for us to be advanced in case that critical assets will fail, we have a designing stage of procurement or operating and maintenance. So something like that in order to make sure that the assets that we have are all in good condition. Safe, reliable, and efficient operations and maintenance as discussed, systematic improvement to design, construction, operation, and maintenance standards. And then the next element is the process management, performance critical process identified, performance critical processes designed for efficiency, reliability, and integrity in case of assets, formalize processes, process performance management, and continuous improvement. For the human resources, employee potential and competency assessment and development. So all of the employee must be competent. They should be trained. They should be developed in order for them to catch up the trends that the company is implementing, especially the best practices. Employee assessment, evaluation and selection, self-development, employee performance, feedback, development and improvement, employee engagement, employee reward and recognition, knowledge sharing. Financial resources, efficient resource utilization, resources utilization, prudent management of financial risks. Now for the external services, communication of expectations, performance assessment, contracting strategies, and build networks. Why we are discussing these elements? Because these are the focus that we need to win in order to obtain excellence, especially for the four focus areas for the company to achieve its goals and objectives. So the policies and strategies, communication and understanding of strategy and policies, development of tactic strategies, continuous review and update, information and documentation management, communication of information, accessibility of information, data archiving and information protection, efficient resource utilization, and prudent management of financial risks. Change management, involvement of appropriate stakeholders, explicit risk and criticality of assessment, review and approval. And for the risk management essentials, documentation, awareness, business continuity management, and maturity. And the remaining two is innovation, learning, and continuous improvement. Innovative improvement idea generation and development, root cause problem analysis and resolution, innovative improvement idea generation and development, process, practice, and performance benchmarking, engagement of cross-functional multidisciplinary teams, performance issue and constraints identification and tracking resolution, rapid learning and continuous improvement, performance monitoring, continuous process improvement. And for corporate responsibility, it is the community and local content. So all of these elements has to be managed by the corporate level and ensure that all employees are following and engage with these elements to ensure that the processes we are aligned with the processes to reach our goals and objectives. Now I have a sample here for the oil facilities process department. So as you can see here, we have a dedicated operational excellence implementation manual dated April 2017 for the specific projects department, oil facilities project department. So what does the manual contain? First, it is based on corporate identified best practices, customized for all oil facilities process operations, baseline for improvement. So this is the baseline for improvement as our reference. Processes and best practices, consistency, is standardization. So why is standardization and consistency? So the project that we are doing here should be the same with the other projects doing in the other part of location. And the implementation approaches are culture, mindset, and behaviors, and implementation tools. The OE manual also includes key components and processes. The first key place of information for each process is the high-level process steps. Each of these steps then gets broken into sub-process steps. Like the elements, we have other sub-elements in order for us to achieve excellence. The next key piece of information is the roles and responsibilities against the key individuals to help ensure that the process is operating effectively. The final piece of information is the KPIs, which are used to determine how well the process is performing. So usually this KPI is in percentage. The key components of the OE manual for each process are the following: expectations, process steps, responsibilities. The expectation is to identify, design, document, and implement organization-specific processes. Measure, monitor, and continually improve organization-specific processes. Identify and track specific processes, key performance indicators for analysis and process improvement purposes. I will pause first. So we will resume the recording. We still on the, go back to the OE manual. We are finished with the components of the OE manual. Now we go for the governance. These are the group of people. All employees play an important role in making the OE program successful. Who are they? The process owners, subject matter experts, department employees, department OE team, the process owners. They play a critical role in helping to manage the implementation and performance of the process they own. So these are the department managers or the personnel that involve heading a certain department. They oversee the implementation of their processes. They monitor process performance using the process KPIs, review and approve process changes, allocate resources to assist in managing each of their processes, assign tasks as needed for executing the process. So that is the main responsibility of the process owners. Subject matter experts can be part of an implementation team that helps the OE process owners by playing a hands-on role in monitoring, measuring, and improving the processes. They assist OE process owners in the implementation of own process. They provide technical advice on all issues to the subject OE process. Now let's go to the department employee. Department employees are responsible for executing relevant OE processes. They execute process as designed, complete activities as assigned, proactively identify processes relevant to their roles, understand process expectations, and contribute ideas for improving processes. So that are the roles, responsibilities of each team, the process owners, subject matter experts, department, employees. Now we go for the department OE team. Facilitate requirements with their OE team. Support the process owners to implement processes. Trigger reminders to all OE process owners requesting updates on their assigned tasks. Review track progress updates. Track and compile periodical updates for all process-related KPIs from process owners. So processes and best practices, consistency and standardization, implementation approaches, culture mindset and behaviors, and implementation tools. So those are the components for OE governance in order to monitor, execute, and consult to further improve the operation process. Now let's go for the assessors. This is the OE assessment. So as discussed at the early stage of this slide, we have the level of excellence. The maximum is 4. So in between 3 to 4, that is already the level of excellence. So a company or our company must ensure that we are on the level of almost reaching the excellence, or if not, since we are exist long time ago, we must be at the level of excellence at number 4. What we need to do only is to maintain it. But for the newcomers, new employees, they must do the process. They will be at the learning curve of learning stages. But at a certain point, they will be achieving operational excellence. So for the assessor, usually they do it on annual basis. This will be, the assessment will be composed of the following: the trained assessors, and they will review the processes and the focus areas. In our case, we have 4 focus areas and we have 36 processes. As discussed earlier, these 36 processes came from the elements, the 13 elements. And they will be evaluating and assigning the overall score and based on the scale of from 0 to 4, and at what and compare it with the target goal that the company set. So in our previous presentation, in our previous slide, we said that by 2020, we must reach at least 90%, and by 2023, it should be 100%. So it is the job of the assessors to do that. Now, what are the assessment criteria? So it is identified using the acronym PDCA in how they assess the enabling elements of excellence: the plan, do, check, adjust, and the focus area. So assessors will evaluate our plan based on the extent to which processes have been identified and documented, include required capabilities and resources, assign accountabilities, include KPIs, plans, and targets, compare with best industry practices. So these are the evaluation criteria that they will do, that they will be the baseline of their checklist. For the do, the assessor will evaluate how closely the process execution matches the process plan. So how well are the processes defined in the OE manual? If it is actually being followed in the day-to-day operation. For under check, the assessor determine whether the KPIs defined in the process plan are actually being measured and monitored properly. The extent to which, under the check, is they will process level KPIs are monitored, accountabilities are assigned to achieve targets, performance dialogues are held, gaps in processes, capabilities, and other resources are identified and solved. For the adjust, it will focus whether processes, performance, results show improvements. So annual performance levels for all processes will be used to calculate the department's score for the essential elements. For the focus area, this scoring is based on the KPIs. The assessor will obtain a list of KPIs relevant to each of OE focus area. So this, as I said, these KPIs is in percentage. They are measuring the magnitude versus the plan and actual of the implementation and the processes. Performance will be analyzed based on the extent to which performance meets internal targets, performance compares to best-in-class performance, performance trend is positive. A detailed set of these criteria will be used to assign an overall score from 0 to 4 and provide recommendations on how we can improve our performance going forward in order to meet the level of excellence, which is level 4. So we will do the enabling elements, and at the same time, at the end of the year, there is assessors that will measure how we do and implement our work and how do we implement the policies. So if we implement it well, we follow the processes, we follow the procedure, then at that point, we are at the level of excellence. How OE applies to day-to-day activities? Operational excellence should be integrated into your day-to-day activities. So we must know our responsibilities, our job, how we satisfy the customers. This may involve accepting new responsibilities also. Set the minimum standards and expectations, clarify roles and responsibilities, provide guidelines on how we are performing, and add structure to how we improve our performance. I have an example here, which is also aligned in oil and facilities, the preliminary engineering project proposal. So the engineering project proposal, it has an stages: plan, preliminary engineering, execute preliminary engineering, monitor and control preliminary engineering, close preliminary engineering. So under this plan, execute, monitor, under these stages, we have processes that should be not skipped. Because if we skip, then we will have a big trouble in audit, in terms of audit. Not only that, but when we implement the project, if we skip some of the process, then at the later stage, it will back charge to us. So it is very important as part of excellence, we follow the process step by step. We plan it well, we do it well to execute it well. So under the plan, we review and approve project proposal. We do ensure training requirements statement is included. We review the scope deliverables, initiate and develop execution plan, and prepare preliminary engineering costs. So when we execute, we mobilize design contractor, administrate and manage project proposal, and finalize the contractor's document control index, update project execution plan, prepare materials status report, and develop schedule. So up to the monitor, we do the processes step by steps, and we must ensure that we did not skip any of them. So under the closeout, because at this stage we obtain the signature of the stakeholders, the proponents, and other involved. Usually for the budgeting, it is the vice president. So if we skip some of the processes, then we will be having an issue with the higher level, in the higher level. So if we did not follow the process, it's either we will be fired or subject for disciplinary action. But not only that, the processes under the preliminary engineering is very important because at the in every stage we are discovering a lot of things which will improve the design and the execution. So we need to discuss also the tools and the best practices. Operational excellence ensure understanding of the address problems, ensure successful solution and implementation. So what are the typical tools and good practices? Visual management provide visual controls and displays of the KPIs on the dashboard. So we measure it. We take in the percentage so we know where we are and how far are we in the target goals that we set. It is used to help ensure everyone understands and is striving towards common objective. Checks sheets for data gathering, offers well-designed templates for data collection and tracking. They are used to help gather inputs which can drive future improvements or use facts to determine how well a process change is performing. Now the description of the tools and practices. This visual management is as a opposite of graphical charts for analysis. Control charts are used to highlight trends and deviation. Fishbone analysis used in analyzing and categorizing root causes. Implementation plan, a plan with actions, responsibilities, and target dates. Standardized work, modifying and sustaining a standard way of working. Structure reviews, regular reviews with standard approach and course corrections. So these are the best practices in line with the typical tools and good practices. So in managing the processes, two key groups make the OEM program successful: process owners and subject matter experts, and all employees. So in the plan, at the stage of plan, process owners and subject matter experts have a very important role in helping to plan, check, and adjust OE processes. They should meet and achieve the following. When planning, they must consider and define the optimal process and sub-process steps. Consider what the department is trying to achieve as a result of a specific process. After the process steps have approved, the team must define the capabilities and resources required to execute the steps as well as the KPIs needed to measure progress and determine whether objectives are being achieved. Make sure that the people responsible for executing each process understands what is expected of them. Communicate with each of the process stakeholders what they understand the roles and responsibilities in order for the processes to run effectively. In managing processes for the check, under the check, as the process is executed, it is important for the process owner and subject matter expert to consistently check and ensure that the process is achieving its objectives. To do this, the process team will look at the performance of the process KPIs. Each process owner should hold constructive dialogue about performance, including where the process is performing well, where it is performing poorly, and why. Measure and monitor process KPIs, assign accountabilities for achieving performance targets, hold constructive performance dialogues, and identify any gaps in the process as or required capabilities. So these are the check or checklists in managing processes. Under the adjust is the critical part of the plan, do, check, adjust cycle. It is where the process owner and subject matter experts must identify how their process can be improved, plan how to implement the changes, and remaining actively involved in the change to make sure it's adopted successfully. This is a critical component for achieving the benefits and results from the OE program. The process owner should work closely with those who are executing the process to help them identify and implement improvement opportunities. All department employees in executing progress play a critical role in helping to make the program successful. Even if you are not managing an OE process, you still have a vital responsibility to help execute and improve these processes. So all department employees, including process owners, are part of the due process and must consider the following. It is important for everyone to understand which processes they execute and the expectation of those processes. Process owners are responsible for communicating information, but each employee is responsible for asking and seeking clarifications from direct manager or the process team. The OE assessors will be reviewing how closely the execution of each process matches the process design. And for the adjust, as part of the adjust process, everyone has the responsibility to help identify process improvements. This includes contributor ideas to help improve processes based on your experience, support the process owners and implementation teams by being open to change, participate actively in improvement workshops, support your colleagues to help them understand and implement process changes, seek guidance from your supervisor or process SMEs if you have questions. So these are the roles, critical role, to make the program successful. In achieving OEX success, as discussed earlier, we must focus with our modeled integrated focus area, and we must ensure that all the elements under this focus area and its uh, processes must be doing correctly by all employees. We have check, adjust, plan, do tools as a guide in achieving our goal. Improve across all facilities project departments. This is the achieving OE objectives, and an excellent score greater than 3 in the OE assessment. So when we reach greater than 3, that's the time we can say to ourselves that we achieved operational excellence. So we go back now with our assessment. I put now the answer. Who is the responsible for executing OE process as they have been designed? All of us, the department employees. Which of the following is an example of a KPI you could use to measure performance of project management operational excellence process in preliminary engineering? PQI, preliminary engineering man hours, completeness, quality, completeness over quality of the approved project proposal, all of the above. All of the above. It is the all of them has a KPI can be measured and as a serve as a key performance indicator to measure the project management process. Let's say example for man hours. The plan is 100 man hours. We reach 80 man hours at this stage. At this plan versus actual, so we can measure it. Completeness over quality. Let's say we have 100 documents to be submitted. We submitted 70 out of 100. So all of them are measurable. So the answer for this is all of the above. Which of the following is not a benefit of OE? Increase in standardization of processes, improve performance in each of the focus areas, increase cost of operation, enhance knowledge sharing of best practices. So the benefit among the following is not the benefit of the OE, is the increased cost of operations. Actually, if we will execute, we will increase the income, reduce turnover. So we will not increase cost of operation. We will reduce turnover and increase the profitability of the company. So what are the focus OE? What are the four focus operational excellence focus area for our company? So these are the integrated as we discussed: the health, safety and environment, cost and profitability, reliability and efficiency. So we must be champion of these four focus area. All of its elements and processes, all of us must be familiar, specifically for the job and responsibilities that we are performing. So we must know what is our uh, the what is the policy that is really belongs to us as an employee. We must memorize, we must do and implement. So for us to achieve the excellence. Because at the end, it is the assessor who will ask us if we know these things, we know the mission vision, what is our task, so how do we perform it, and if they discover that we neglect some of the processes, then we will fail. But if they discover that we follow all the processes as discussed in the example like the preliminary engineering, we execute all the processes, then we will be, they will declare that we are the level of excellence. Who is ultimately accountable for the correct implementation and performance of the OE process? So the subject matter experts, they are the consultants, all department employees, which is us, all department, the department OE team, which is group composed of the heads of the department, or the process owner. It is the process owner, the manager, or the one who had a team, the one who had a department. That is he is the accountable for the implementation of the OE process. So through our polls, is a continuous process. Of course, it is true. As we discussed, as the time goes by, best practices, best in industry practices, we can adapt in order for us to catch up the trend and to make sure that among the competitors, we are very competitive and we are edging them the least. So it is very important. It is a continuous process. So all of us must be aware that the way we work should be at the level of excellence. To summarize, everyone must know his task, must know the policy that he is involved with, and the procedures, the rules. So in order for him or her, the employee, to execute his performance well. So thank you very much for listening, and I am very delighted to discuss this topic, operational excellence, as a refresher for old and new employees of the company in order for us to meet the goals of the company in gaining its targets, to make sure that all of the workers understands and doing its best to reach the level of excellence that the company is targeting. Thank you very much, and hoping I contribute to your knowledge and the success for all of us. Thank you.